Hello. So today we are going to cover about Financial Action Task Force, which is very important topic for GS paper 3, especially internals, that is security, and as well as, for example, GS paper 2 also, and it is important for your prelims paper also. So here in this particular episode we are going to cover why this is in the news, because Pakistan allied Turkey has been put under the grey list, and then we are going to cover what is grey list, what are the black list, and what are the countries are there which are under this particular grey list, and why Turkey has been put under the grey list. And then we are going to cover some financial crisis that is going on in the Turkey. All these things we are going to cover in this particular episode. So hello and welcome to the Legacy IAS Academy. I am Pawan Kant. Let's start this particular episode. So first is why actually it is in the news. So it is basically news because Pakistan allied Turkey has been actually placed in this Financial Action Task Force grey list. Next thing is why actually it has been put, correct? So that we need to understand that Turkey was included for shortcoming in combating basically money launderings and terrorism financing, that things, correct? So that we need to understand. What impact will happen on the Turkey? Basically, it can have a serious impact upon its foreign investment and international reputations, correct? That things it is going to happen. Now, why Turkey has been put in the grey list? Because of some serious issues are there. They remain in Turkey's controls over financial operations, and because some strategic deficiencies are there to combat money launderings and terrorist financing. So next thing is actually what is actually Financial Action Task Force is. So basically Financial Action Task Force work is regarding money laundering, because it always fuels crimes and terrorism. Money laundering always fuels all this. So FATF is a leading global action group that fight back this money laundering, correct? So it tackles money laundering such as from the drug trades, correct, and actually terrorism. Second, by following how it is financed, and third important thing is especially proliferations, by preventing funding for weapons of mass destructions. That actually, so FATF basically researches how money is actually laundered, and it is terrorist ke liye this is financed, and it basically set global some standards and publishes some best practices that actually done by this particular FATF. So basically Financial Action Task Force is actually done by an intergovernmental, it is an intergovernmental body hai. First we need to understand it is not an NGO, it is an intergovernmental body. What does an intergovernmental body? Because countries are coming together and they actually established in 1989 during the G7 summit in Paris. Next question is what actually FATF does basically. So FATF basically does in 1989, basically 1989 money laundering, that was one of the objective of this FATF to fight this money laundering. Second was this 2001 it was added terrorist financing, that also come under the scope of this FATF. And third basically 2012 proliferations of weapons of mass destructions. So these are the three important areas or objectives are there that is actually taken care by the FATF, that we need to understand. Next thing is actually, next thing ki what are those countries are there which are actually under this particular FATF. So basically there is 39 members are there. So FATF currently comprises 37 members and 2 regional organizations. See, we need not to remember all these countries, we need not to remember all these countries name, correct? So only few countries, for example I highlighted already, like China is also one of the member, Brazil is also one of the member, because Brazil is the part of BRICS, that is India is also one of the member. So Brazil is also there, China is also there, and India is also there. India is also the member, correct? So India is a member of FATF, but one thing we need to know, this Pakistan is not a member of FATF. Pakistan is not a member of FATF, and Turkey is also member of FATF, correct? So Pakistan is not a member of FATF, India is the member of FATF. 2 regional group is also the member. So what are those regional groups are there? Basically European Commissions as well as Gulf Cooperation Council, that is GCC. So these are the members or members of this FATF, and one FATF is having observer is also, that is Indonesia. One observer is also there, that is Indonesia. Again I am telling you these names there is no need to remember, but only need to remember Brazil, China and India, Turkey and European Commissions and Gulf Cooperation Council, but Pakistan is not a member. Next is what are actually these black list and what are this grey list is there. So basically it has 2 lists, black list as well as grey list. Basically it is having 2 lists, black list and grey list. Black list they are called as non-cooperative countries, they are put in the black list. Those non-cooperative countries are, and these countries basically support terror fundings, correct, and these countries also do support money laundering activities, that is blacklist countries. And countries which are considered as safe haven for supporting, correct, for supporting the terror fundings, they lie basically in the grey list, they lie always in the grey list. So this inclusion actually serve as a warning to them ki bhaiya next time say you also can come into actually blacklist. That is the thing of this grey list and blacklist. So what is FATF blacklist? So FATF blacklist basically it is officially known as high risk jurisdiction subject to a call for action, correct. So blacklist basically, this is blacklist is called as high risk jurisdiction subject to a call for actions, correct. And these are also called as non-cooperative countries or territories, non-cooperative countries or territories, correct. Basically there are two countries are there which are under this particular list, that is North Korea and Iran. Definitely we are aware ki why these are there actually, no need to explain ki why these two countries they are under blacklist, correct. Now next is grey list. What is actually grey list is? Grey list countries are those which are considered as safe haven for supporting terror funding and money launderings, they are put under the grey list. And this inclusion I told you serve as a warning ki by next time say you can come onto blacklist also if you are not going to, okay, if you are not going to regulate this whatever the banking regulations are there, if you are not going to actually put ban on this money laundering or terrorist funding, correct. So in this particular grey list there are countries, again we need not to remember what are those countries are there, but see Cayman Island is also one of the, okay, because see Cayman Island is known for this safe haven, okay, tax haven, that is the reason it is here. And Myanmar, one of our actually neighbor country, that is Myanmar, also in grey list, correct. Another is see Pakistan is also under grey list, and see this Panama is also under grey list, and then see Turkey is also recently only put under the grey list. See Turkey is put under, and this Pakistan, and this is for the tax haven, correct. And Myanmar is also one of the country. One thing just you need to know, that Turkey basically is a European country, basically they consider themselves European country, correct. But one thing I am telling you, Turkey is a NATO country, NATO ally, correct. So see, even though it is a NATO ally, still it was put under, okay, this grey list, because Pakistan used to blame India ki because of Indian pressure only Pakistan actually has been put under the grey list. But see, Turkey was also put under now grey list, even though Turkey is a NATO ally. One more actually country is there, that is NATO ally, it is Albania, that is European poor country of Europe. This Albania is also a NATO ally and it is also under grey list. Basically two countries are there which are actually NATO ally and both are actually under the grey list. Next thing, we need to understand about Turkey, correct. So regarding Turkey's map, if we see Turkey's map, this is very important for actually prelims exam point of view, where Turkey is actually. So uske liye what we need to understand, see this is the Turkey, that what are the water bodies are there near to the Turkey. See Black Sea is one of the water body, the north side, and this Mediterranean Sea, another water body that we need to know, and one more actually is this Aegean Sea is one more water body that is nearby. See basically kya hai ki Turkey, if we do this lining this way, then this part of the Turkey comes under Asia and this part of the Turkey actually comes under, for example, in European, okay, side. So we need to understand this Aegean Sea, Mediterranean Sea and Black Sea, and one more thing that is important, Sea of Marmara and Bosporus Strait. This is the Bosporus Strait and this is actually Sea of Marmara, that we need to understand about it, correct, about Turkey. And this is known as actually this Anatolian Plateau, that is for Turkey, and important city that is here is Ankara, that is the biggest city here. So that we need to understand, and here one more big city is there, that is Izmir, that is one more city, and this Istanbul, that is another. And so you need to understand regarding, you need to remember or you need to put more focus where basically this Black Sea, second is Mediterranean Sea, third is Aegean Sea, and fourth is this Sea of Marmara, fifth is this Bosporus Strait, and then one more is this Dardanelles Strait, that is also important, that actually connect this Sea of Marmara basically to Aegean Sea, correct. So this is very important hai, that we need to understand. And one lake is also important, that is Lake Wan, that is important. So we need to remember this. And one mountain is there, Mount Ararat, that also we need to understand about it completely, correct. So this is Turkey. And extra things that you need to do, what are those countries are there which are actually sharing boundary with Black Sea, that also you need to understand, like Georgia, okay, Ukraine, all these countries you need to, okay, read, okay, in your geography atlas. Now next thing is Turkey. Actually, when this news came, especially this Financial Times has broken this news, okay, Financial Times has broken this particular news, especially Turkey faces this threat of grey listing by global financings, correct. So this was the news that is broken by Financial Times only, because no one was expecting this thing, Turkey was going to also put under this particular grey list. So next thing is Turkey's financial crisis. What are the Turkey's financial crisis are going on? So see, if we compare Turkey's currency, that is lira, with US dollar, then we will understand. For example, in 2006, 1.48 lira is equal to 1 US dollar. But today that is 24th October, 1 US dollar say we can purchase only 9.6 lira. So see, this lira actually losing its value against US dollar. Now you will say that, see, this is not that big thing, not only it is happening with lira but not with any other emerging economies currency, because you will say that Indian currency is also losing its value against US dollar, then what is the big deal? So see, here we can see from other point of view, if we compare Turkish lira with Indian rupee, then we will understand where actually we stand. So see, here we already know from the last 5 years, if we see, US dollar is continuously actually making its, okay, strong movement against lira, that is lira is losing its value. So see, this 9.6 lira on 22nd October. But when if we compare with Indian rupee, in 2016, with 1 lira we can actually purchase 23 Indian rupees, okay, in 2016, that is 5 years back actually, we can purchase with 1 lira 23 Indian rupees. But see, if today 1 lira, say we can purchase only 7 rupees 81 paisa. Today, we are talking about today 24th October. So today actually we can purchase with 1 lira only 7.81 Indian rupees. So see, this lira, that is Turkish currency, it is actually losing its value against Indian rupees also, correct. It is losing third time, okay, 3 times actually it lost its value against Indian rupees. So see, if we see in this particular graph, earlier actually 5 years back, if we see, this was actually more than 20 rupees, and now it is continuously reducing, continuously, and today it is 7 rupees 81 paisa it came. So that is the problem they are facing now. Why it is happening actually? See, like for example, if we see interest rates on 10 years sovereign bond, 10 years interest rates, that is 20.3% are there, okay. See, for example, in India, if government issue bond, if they put interest rates more than 6%, correct, then everyone is going to put money there only, because see, sovereign bond है, definitely more security is there. Then bank को, जो bank है, they also need to actually increase their interest rates, because just to compete with government. See, if Indian government, they actually increase this bond by, for example, to the 8% or 10%, that means there is a lot of problems can happen in the economy. And here see, here their 10 years bond is 20.3%, and see inflation rate 19.58%. See, inflation is 19.58%. That is the reason is those who are putting money in this 10 years bond, they will get some, okay, yield, some positive interest rates, because see, real interest rates कितना होगा? Real interest rate 20.3% minus 19.58%, correct. Then only we can get some real interest, correct. And see, in India, for example, we have said that inflation should not be more than 4 to 6%. That is our target of this monetary policy, correct. And here see in India inflation target is 4 to 6%, but here in inflation kitna ja raha hai? Double digit inflation is there. Double digit inflation, that is not good, okay, for any economy, correct. Next thing is, for example, recently Turkey's central bank actually cuts rates again, okay, at lira's expense. See, if you have read basic economy, then you know that whenever inflation is rising, okay, especially for example the double digit, what any central bank will going to do? So basically whenever actually this inflation is rising, increasing, then central bank is also going to increase the repo rate, interest rates, correct. So if two problems you are having, ki double digit inflation is there and your currency is also losing its value against foreign currencies, especially for example US dollar, then any central bank is going to do what? Increase the interest rates, that is the repo rate. But what actually Turkey has done, Turkey's central bank cuts rate again at the lira's expense. So they are doing just opposite. They are doing just opposite. Why they are doing? Because simple logic is this, because their president, they are putting pressure over the central bank, that is the reason central bank is doing. Because in last 2.5 years actually Turkey, okay, government has removed 3 governors, correct, in 2.5 years, and recently actually they have removed 3 members of monetary policy also, because they were not listening government advice, because that advice going to hurt Turkish economy. So that also we need to understand. For example, this central bank have lowered the 1 week repo rate, okay, to 16% from 18%, that is by 200 basis points they have decreased. Earlier also they have decreased 100 basis points, that means earlier that interest rates was not at 18 but was 19%, then 19% so they came to 18%, and recently they had cut by 200 basis point, that is to 16%. That is the Turkey's financial crisis are going on. Now what Turkey need to do now? उसको क्या करना चाहिए so that they can come out of this grey list? So serious issues of supervision they need to in its banking and real estate sectors, and with gold and precious stone dealers. They need to do whatever the banking and real estate sectors are there. Turkish government need to put some control over them, so they should not involve in illegal activities, especially money laundering cases, correct. And recently they are dealing with, for example, Turkish central bank. They are helping the Iran also, because US has put some sanctions, heavy sanctions over Iran. At that time also Turkish central bank actually helped in dealing with that, okay, to the this Iran, that is problem. So they need to do this thing. And next thing what they need to do, they need to tackling complex money laundering cases, correct, and so it is pursuing terrorist financing and prosecutions, and they need to prioritize cases of United Nations designated terrorist organizations such as ISIS and Al Qaeda. So this ISIL and Al Qaeda, these terrorist organizations are there, so Turkey government need to put pressure over these organizations. Whatever their terror funding is there, Turkey need to stop that terror funding. So all these things when Turkey is going to do, because then only Turkey will going to be removed from the grey list. So we can understand that Turkey is a NATO ally, still it has been put because it is helping actually Iran, it is helping Venezuela, it is having some connection to the this North Korea, and it is not putting, okay, this terror funding issues regarding this ISIL and Al Qaeda. Because of all these reasons, Turkey has been put under the grey list. So this is for today's session. I hope you liked the session. If you like, please give thumbs up and share with your friends also. Thank you.